You've just arrived in a place where the impossible begins to dissolve and the truth of who you are starts to take form. Welcome to the Inner Code, your sanctuary for transformation, clarity, and the art of conscious creation. In this session, we're not talking about dreaming of a better life, we're talking about entering it, right here, right now, using a method inspired by Neville Goddard, a guided reality-shifting meditation that will allow you to step directly into the version of yourselves who already lives your deepest desires. What if you could wake up tomorrow in a reality already shaped by your deepest desires? What if the life you've been imagining could be felt, lived, and breathed today? In just a moment, I'll guide you through a powerful inner journey where your imagination becomes the architect, your emotions become the foundation, and your awareness becomes the living proof that you create your own reality. Stay with me until the end, and you'll not only understand this process, you'll experience it. And if this message stirs something in you, remember to subscribe so you can return here anytime you need to remember who you truly are. Share it with someone you love, because reality shifts faster when it's built together. Now, breathe. Let's begin. Close your eyes. Not because the world outside is wrong, but because the world within is where the true story is written. Here, in this quiet space behind your eyelids, the noise of circumstance fades. Here, the infinite waits for you. Neville Goddard often said, "Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness." What he meant was simple yet world-shattering. Your life is not being written by random events, by luck, or by some distant power. It is being written by you. More precisely, by what you accept as true, and by the emotions you allow yourself to live in. Right now, you're standing at the doorway of creation. This is not just a meditation. This is an act of conscious authorship. You are about to step into the blueprint room of your reality. Here, your imagination sketches, your feelings paint, and your faith seals every stroke. Take a slow, deep breath in. Hold it for a moment, and release. Again, inhale deeply, feeling the breath expand your chest. Pause in that fullness, and exhale, letting go of all tension. With each breath, your body softens, your mind becomes lighter, and the chatter of the outer world drifts away like mist under the morning sun. Now, let's bring your awareness to the seat of your imagination, not in the mind that thinks, but in the mind that sees, hears, touches, tastes, and smells beyond the limits of the physical. Neville called this the inner eye. It is not bound by the laws of time or space. It moves freely, shaping the unseen until the unseen takes form. Think of a desire that stirs you deeply, not just a passing wish, but something that pulls at the center of your being, something that, if it were real right now, would make you feel undeniably alive. Do not question whether it's possible. Do not bargain with how. Let the what be your only focus. Hold it in your mind. See it clearly. If it's a place, walk through it. If it's a relationship, feel the presence of the other person. If it's a version of yourself, notice how you move, speak, and stand. Engage every sense, the temperature of the air, the colors around you, the subtle scents, the texture under your fingertips, the distant sounds that affirm you are there. Now, and this is the key, allow the scene to saturate you with feeling. Not the feeling of longing, but the feeling of possession, the feeling of now. What does relief feel like? What does joy feel like in your body? What does the calm confidence of already having it do to your breathing? This is the law of assumption, made alive. You are assuming the reality you desire, not as a hopeful wish, but as a living truth. You are not practicing to get there. You are practicing being there. Stay in this feeling. Let it wrap around you like a second skin. Let it speak through your posture, your expression, your inner dialogue. If your mind tries to argue, if old doubts creep in, simply return to the scene. Return to the now in which it is already done. Because here's the truth. The subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It only accepts what you consistently impress upon it with emotion. And the moment you feel something as real, your inner world begins rearranging the outer world to match it. Right now, you are shifting your reality. Not in some far-off moment, but here, in this breath, in this heartbeat. You are stepping from one state of consciousness into another. And in Neville's words, states are bound to change. Nothing stands still. So keep breathing. Inhale as the person who already lives in this new reality. Exhale as the person who has released the old. Each cycle is a turning of the page, a rewriting of the script. Stay with this feeling just a moment longer, because the longer you dwell in it, the deeper it roots itself in your subconscious. Let the feeling deepen. Breathe in again, but this time, imagine that each inhale draws more of your new reality into your being, and each exhale releases the final remnants of the old story you no longer choose to live. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw relaxes. Even the muscles in your hands loosen, because you are no longer grasping for what is already yours. You are simply allowing. See yourself standing at the threshold of two worlds. One, the world you have known, familiar, predictable, but limited. The other, the vivid, expansive world of your fulfilled desire. You are not peering at it through glass. You are stepping into it. Your foot crosses the line, and as you do, everything shifts. Colors feel richer. Sounds carry more harmony. The air feels lighter against your skin. You may notice how your body language changes here, how your chest naturally opens, how your eyes lift without effort, how your breath moves with more ease. This is the posture of someone who knows they belong in this space. In Neville's teaching, the bridge between your current circumstances and your desired reality is built entirely within, through assumption. This bridge doesn't require time in the way the outer world measures it. It requires acceptance. Acceptance that what you feel right now is reality. So in this space, you are not hoping, you are being. You are not looking forward, you are looking around. Notice the details. Turn your head in the scene. Touch the surfaces. Listen to the background sounds that confirm you are where you intended to be. Perhaps you smell fresh earth after rain in your dream garden. Perhaps you hear the warm hum of a gathering where your laughter is woven into the room. Perhaps you feel the weight of keys in your palm, keys that open the door to the home you've envisioned for years. Whatever it is, trust the senses to do their work. Now let us anchor this further. Bring your awareness to your heart. Feel the gentle pulse there, steady, calm, alive. Imagine with each beat, this reality you have stepped into is sending roots deeper into your subconscious, until it is no longer a vision, but your normal. The mind will try from time to time to pull you back to how things are. But Neville reminded us that how things are is nothing more than the result of past states, past assumptions you once carried. The moment you live in a new state, the past begins to dissolve and the future reshapes itself accordingly. So when those thoughts come, it's not real, it's not here yet, smile inwardly, and remember, that is simply the echo of the old reality, and echoes have no power except the attention you give them. You are the witness and the creator, not the captive. Now breathe again, but slower this time. 5 seconds in, hold for 2, 5 seconds out. Feel the breath as a wave, rolling in with the fullness of your new life, rolling out with the release of all that no longer serves you. There is no rush here. Time in the inner world is infinitely flexible. The more you linger here, the more natural it becomes. And when it becomes natural, it becomes inevitable. This is why Neville taught that feeling is the secret, because thought alone can be argued with, but a feeling fully embodied begins to rewrite the subconscious in a way that cannot be undone. Now silently in your mind, affirm to yourself, I live in the reality of my wish fulfilled. It is done. I am here now. Repeat each phrase slowly, letting it resonate through your entire being. Feel it as truth, not as a hope, not as a someday, but as something so certain, so integrated, that you could not be persuaded otherwise. And understand this, in the stillness of this meditation, you have already shifted. Your work now is not to make it happen, but to maintain this state when you open your eyes and walk back into the physical world. For reality is not something out there. It is an ongoing projection of the inner world you carry. When you carry this new state into every conversation, every decision, every moment, the external must follow as surely as a shadow follows the form that casts it. So hold it, guard it, live it. Remain here in the richness of your new reality. You may feel a subtle warmth spreading through your chest, a lightness in your mind, a quiet confidence in your gut. This is the body's way of signaling, we are safe here, we belong here. Now let us address something that inevitably arises in this journey: resistance, doubt. That small, persistent voice whispering, this is just your imagination. When that voice comes, do not fight it. Do not try to argue with it. Instead, smile. Smile because you know something it does not. Imagination is not just anything. It is the origin of everything. Every building, every song, every invention, every great love story, all began in the invisible world before it ever took shape in the visible. Neville said, all transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. But desire alone is only the spark. It is imagination and feeling fused together that fan it into flame. So when doubt appears, see it not as an enemy, but as an opportunity to choose your new state again. Because every time you return to it, you make it stronger. Every time you dwell in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are walking the neural and emotional pathways that make it natural. Now let's anchor deeper. Bring to mind the version of yourself who already lives this reality, not just in the big dream cinematic moments, but in the quiet, ordinary ones. How do you speak to yourself when you wake in the morning? What does your inner dialogue sound like while you're making coffee or brushing your teeth? What emotions run quietly in the background as you go about your day? Let those subtle details fill in now. See yourself in that morning mirror, noticing the relaxed expression in your eyes. Hear the gratitude in your voice as you greet the day. Feel the sense of stability and certainty running through your body. This is crucial because it's not only the dramatic moments of manifestation that matter, it's the everyday atmosphere of your being. When your everyday self lives in the new state, it becomes unshakable. And when the world outside hasn't yet caught up, you remember this truth. It's not the outer that creates the inner. It's the inner that sculpts the outer. And the outer is obliged to conform. Now, as you hold this inner atmosphere, I want you to feel a quiet, steady joy rise within you. Not the ecstatic joy that fades after a celebration, but the enduring joy of knowing you have already crossed over. Let's strengthen that joy. Inhale and imagine a golden light filling your chest. Exhale and imagine that light expanding beyond your body, wrapping around your entire scene, sealing it like a protective cocoon. This is your sanctuary, your creative chamber. No fear or doubt can touch what is held here. Stay here for a few breaths. Inhale the fullness of your new reality. Exhale the final fragments of the old. With each cycle, you feel yourself being it more completely. Now we must speak of persistence. Neville was clear. If you wish to see a different outcome, you must persist in the assumption of that outcome, not occasionally, but faithfully. Persistence is not effort. It is not straining or pushing. It is returning. Returning to the state again and again until it becomes your home address in consciousness. And the truth is, this persistence can be pleasurable because each return reminds you that you are not powerless. You're not at the mercy of events. You are the cause. You are the dreamer dreaming the dream. And you have just chosen to dream it differently. From this place, there is nothing to chase. No timeline to force. No conditions to control. There is only this inner knowing, it is done. Feel the ease that comes with that knowing. It's like leaning back into a seat that holds you perfectly, trusting it will support your weight. No effort, no tension, just rest in what is already yours. Now, we begin the gentle transition from this stillness into the life you walk with open eyes. The key is simple. You don't leave this state, you carry it. You rise from the chair, open your eyes, speak, and move, but you do so as the one who already is. This is where many people falter. They think the meditation ends when the eyes open. But Neville knew the meditation is not an event, it's a continuum. Your outer life is meant to become the natural extension of the inner scene you have just lived. So as you imagine yourself standing, you're not returning to the old reality. You are stepping deeper into the one you've chosen. Your posture holds the same ease you felt inside the vision. Your voice carries the same confidence. Your eyes reflect the same peace. Picture yourself walking through your day as though the world has already rearranged itself to fit your assumption. When you speak to someone, you do so from the fulfillment, not from the lack. When you make decisions, you make them as one who already has the resources, the love, the opportunities. This is embodiment. And embodiment is the signal your subconscious and the universe respond to. It says, "This is who I am. This is my reality, and nothing else will do." You may be tempted in moments to check if the outside has changed yet. But remember, the outside is simply the slow echo of what you hold within. Checking too soon is like planting a seed and digging it up every day to see if it's sprouted. Instead, trust the process. Water it with feeling. Expose it to the sunlight of persistent assumption. Let's bring this into something tangible right now. Imagine leaving this meditation and encountering the world around you, your home, your workplace, the streets you walk. In your mind, overlay them with the subtle signs of your fulfilled desire. It could be a new car in your driveway. It could be the presence of a loved one beside you. It could be the notification of the opportunity you've been waiting for. These details don't need to be loud. Even the smallest indicators will reaffirm your new state. Now deepen this with gratitude. Gratitude is not just a polite thank you. It is an energetic confirmation that what you have is real. And when you express gratitude for something, your subconscious assumes it is already yours. So silently in this moment, speak your thanks for what you have just lived in imagination. Thank the unseen for bringing it into form. Thank yourself for daring to believe beyond appearances. Thank the present moment for being the fertile ground where all things are born. Notice how this gratitude shifts the texture of your feelings. It makes the state warmer, more grounded, more certain. Gratitude doesn't question, it knows. Now we add one more layer, non-reactivity to appearances. Neville called this remaining faithful to the unseen reality. When something in your outer world contradicts what you have assumed, you smile inwardly. knowing it's simply the old state fading out. It has no hold on you unless you step back into believing it. Think of it like a movie you've already decided not to watch anymore. The old plot may still be playing out on some screen, but you've left the theater. Your seat is now in the story you've chosen, and the more you watch that, the more vividly it plays out. So as you carry this state forward, you'll find that small coincidences begin to emerge. A phrase you hear in passing, an unexpected opportunity, a meeting that feels perfectly timed. These are not random. They are reflections. They are the bridge of incidents Neville spoke of, the sequence of events your subconscious arranges to deliver you into the full experience of your assumption. You don't have to figure them out. You don't have to manipulate or force them. Your only task is to remain faithful to your inner reality until it hardens into fact. Let this awareness fill you with a calm anticipation, not a restless waiting, but a deep knowing that what you've impressed upon the inner world is already on its way to becoming undeniable in the outer. Feel the stability of that knowing in your body now. The breath is steady, the heart is calm, the mind is clear. You are not chasing, you are receiving. And in this receiving, you become magnetic. Magnetic to opportunities, magnetic to the right people, magnetic to the exact conditions that match your inner state. It is not by effort that these come, but by resonance. You are now living as the cause, and the effect must follow. Stay with me now. This is the moment where the meditation becomes more than an exercise. It becomes an identity. From here forward, you are not someone doing a technique. You are the living embodiment of the wish fulfilled. Neville said, "Claim it as yours. Assume it is done, and walk as though it were true, because in the unseen, it already is." So we take our final steps here, not as the person who wants, but as the one who has. Let's seal this shift together. Close your eyes once more, just for a few breaths. Feel the weight of your body, supported, grounded, steady. Now, feel the weight of your new reality, not as a burden, but as a presence, a richness you carry everywhere you go. Picture yourself a week from now, still holding this state. Imagine the small confirmations that have already appeared, the unexpected messages, the signs, the subtle changes in how people treat you, the way your own energy feels when you wake in the morning. These are not fantasies, they are previews. Your inner world is already orchestrating the scenes that will unfold. Now picture yourself a month from now. How much more natural does this reality feel? How much more fully do you inhabit it without effort? It is no longer something you visit in meditation. It is the atmosphere you live in. And now, see yourself 6 months from today. Notice how the outer world has rearranged itself around your new state. See the tangible expressions of your assumption, the relationships, the opportunities, the experiences, all reflecting what you chose and persisted in. Understand this deeply. You did not make these things happen through force. You became them within, and the world simply aligned. So as we prepare to close this session, you will carry 3 anchors with you. First anchor, the scene, the inner movie that reflects your fulfilled desire. You can return to it anytime, anywhere. It is your inner sanctuary. Second anchor, the feeling, the emotional atmosphere of already having it. It is the most magnetic signal you can emit. Third anchor, the faith, the unwavering knowing that what is real within will become real without. Not if, not maybe, but when. And when is always sooner than the old mind thinks. With these 3 anchors, you cannot drift far from your new state. Even in moments when the outer world tests you, you return quickly, because you know the truth. It was never out there that mattered. It was always in here. Now, take one last deep breath in, and as you exhale, feel the old version of you dissolve, not as a loss, but as a shedding. It has served its purpose. You now live as the upgraded, expanded, fully aligned self. When you open your eyes, the outer world will still appear familiar at first, but you will notice the difference, the way you move through it, the way you interpret what happens, the way you no longer feel at the mercy of chance. From this day forward, you will walk, speak, think, and choose from this reality. And by doing so, you will watch as life bends to match you. Remember, you are not becoming, you are. It is done. So, rise gently. Carry this with you into every moment that follows. And as you move through the hours and days ahead, whisper inwardly the truth you now live by. I am the Creator. I am the cause. I am the wish fulfilled. And so it is. And as you return to the rhythm of your day, remember, the world you walk through is only the echo of the world you carry within. Guard it. Nurture it. Live in it. For the moment you choose it in consciousness, it is already yours in truth. If this journey stirred something within you, subscribe so we can continue walking this path together. And share this with someone who is ready to awaken to their own creative power, because reality shifts faster when it's shared. With presence, the inner code.